Hey, it's Russ and Lauren here on the Infectious Groove Music channel on YouTube. It is Sunday Vinyl Day, and this is going to be kind of an album review-ish as well. We usually just kind of share our thoughts on the pressing itself, but with this, everybody and their brother has commented on the actual contents of this record, and I know through our Facebook and Twitter, people have said like, "Hey, when are y'all gonna comment on this record?" So
now is the time.
Now is the time. We are going to take a look at Roger Waters' Dark Side of the Moon redo. And before we get into this, I should say too that way before this was released, I released a video on this channel called "You Need to Calm Down" about the Roger Waters' Dark Side of the Moon redo, which was because everyone on the internet had overreacted to the fact that this was even coming out. And so my plan going into this was to have an open mind, but if you'd like to know what my reasoning was on that, you can find that easily on the channel as well. Now that it is out, and I really took my time getting around to listening to it.
Yeah, you were not in a hurry.
Yeah, which I wasn't avoiding it. I just didn't want to rush to judgment. And I also I had said to Lauren one night, I said, "Hey, later, let's make sure to listen to the Dark Side of the Moon redo." And then, we had a couple of adult beverages.
Yes.
And I said to her, "Oh no, let's not do it because I'll get all lovey on Roger Waters and I'll just say this is brilliant no matter what." So both ways I've been like, "Hey, let's make sure we're, giving this a fair shot." So along with what we do on our regular vinyl reviews, we're starting with the packaging. Now, I'm going to get the one thing out of the way that I always say, but I'm going to be a total hypocrite about it. I always complain about what? No rice paper inner sleeves. Right. There are no rice paper inner sleeves on this, and I'm totally fine with it, which makes me a jerk.
Can you put that blinky noise in?
Right, yeah.
For me?
Yeah. Because, and there are videos on this channel where you can reference where I've said this, if it is at the, if the rice paper sleeves are sacrificed at the expense of good packaging, then I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think and we're going to put pictures up like we always do. I think the thick paper and the glossy art that you get with this, there's a reason why it's presented the way that it is.
Yeah.
Right. So do you at least agree with that?
Sure. I mean, first of all, I have no horse in the inner sleeve race.
Right.
So I agree with you.
So you have that, and then the overall packaging. I mean, like Dark Side of the Moon is one of those things where it's the most iconic record cover of all time.
Sure.
Okay. And then, so what are you going to do?
You're going to put it in the eyeball of a dog.
I like that.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I do.
I love the back, by the way, with the dog tongue all out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there is a level of whimsy, I think, that gets overlooked in this whole thing.
I talked about that some in the "You Need to Calm Down" video. Like, this is not as serious as everyone is making it out to be. Right. And I think that is an issue. Speaking of dogs, our two dogs are being ridiculous while we're trying to shoot this video.
Yeah.
Having said that, we will move on to sound. Sound, we're going to talk about a couple of things. I will get this out of the way right now. As far as the audio quality goes, I think it sounds magnificent.
Yeah.
It sounds if you've heard any Roger Waters studio recordings within the past 10 years, so the Is This the Life We Really Want record or the Lockdown sessions, it's got that very close Roger Waters. So
yeah,
Roger sounds like he's right here for everything.
It's like he's whispering and he's gravelly right there for you.
But I like it. So
it's fine.
Yeah. So as far as the overall sound goes, it's fine. One thing I do want to mention about the sound on the LP, and I think this is so interesting, is that the fourth side of the LP is nothing but ambient outside.
Yeah. And so when we were listening to this, you were kind of surprised at where it flipped, because you were assuming that it had broken up into, two LPs, where it was going to split. Right. Yep. And then when it didn't, you were like, well, what's on side 4?
Right.
And
both of us were like,
what?
Yeah.
So
the reason why I find that funny is, and if any Pink Floyd historians are watching this, if you bought Pulse, which is the time that Pink Floyd re-released The Dark Side of the Moon without Roger Waters, which was included in my "You Need to Calm Down" video. If you bought Pulse on cassette, the fourth side of that set was all ambient outside noises. So, it's a whole thing. It was used for the Division Bell tour and so on, but still, I just thought that was an interesting correlation. As far as Roger Waters re-recording The Dark Side of the Moon goes, first of all, I think the biggest thing I can say that I think most people who either know me or have watched this channel for a long time are waiting for a visceral reaction one way or the other. I think this is the greatest thing that's ever been recorded, or I think this is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Right.
I think the most disappointing thing I can say about this is I find it to be there.
That's fair. It was very there.
Yeah.
The whole of it all feels very ambient to me. Right? Like it's just kind
Which
of
I'm fine with.
This is the dark side of the moon that you put on in the background while you're doing other things.
That, or I told you, like, I could see us putting it on when we had a party and have people be like, huh, wait, aren't those the lyrics to Money? Or what? Oh yeah, it's a whole different version, you know? Here, let me say this. Here's what I have to say about it. Would I ever go and say, oh, I'm going to put this on before? Probably. There's a time and a place for that where I would put it on before. Is it in any way, shape, or form going to replace the listens that I was going to do in the first place of the original Dark Side of the Moon? No, but it's not meant to either.
Right.
It's okay that this exists is, you know, what I have to say. I think it's fine for what it's supposed to be. Let me say this. Here's the best way I can put it. I don't think there's anything to dislike on this at all.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing you were like,
no, I knew what I was.
I think there was a lot more you liked than you thought you were going
right.
to.
I had a feeling of what it was going to be going into it, and it was what I expected it to be. Like it didn't subvert my expectations in any way.
Right.
If anything, it was like, oh, yep, this is what I thought it would be, and it's a little better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Price and value is where we're going to run into a big, huge problem in this video. The price of this thing, anywhere you find it around town, is, from what I've seen as of the shooting of this video, you're looking at between $35 to $45. To quote Lionel Richie on the 1984 Grammys, outrageous for a 2 LP set. That's a bit much. I don't care how thick the inner sleeves are and all that, and like it's really thick packaging, and it does sound good. Nope, not on this planet. Right? When you can just walk into the corner record store, literally, and buy the original Dark Side of the Moon for $21. Come on now,
I understand.
So the price is outrageous, in my opinion.
Money.
Yeah, no kidding. So when you go to value, now sometimes just because something's expensive, like I defend mobile fidelity pressings on this channel all the time, just because something's expensive doesn't mean there's no value in it. But here's my thing. And you tell me if I'm wrong on this. This is for the Roger Waters collector.
100%.
I think, again, it sounds like I'm saying this is bad. It's not bad. I would stream this all day long. I think that if all you've done is sat around bashing your keyboard on other people's videos going, oh, it's the worst thing that's ever happened, without actually listening to it, I think you've made a mistake. I think you should give it an honest listen. And like we said, there's use case scenarios where I would throw this on. Now, we own the record because Roger Waters is one of my favorite songwriters of all time, and I'm going to own everything that he's ever done, period. But if you were watching this video going, you know, wow, I listened to it a couple times on streaming, like, you know, is it worth buying on vinyl? No, I don't think so. So now what about you? Like,
nope.
Yeah.
I would have streamed it.
Yeah, she would have streamed it and continued
out of curiosity.
Yeah, out of curiosity. But back to a positive thing about the record, you would have streamed it here and again too, though.
Sure.
It wouldn't just be a one-time thing and you go, oh, I'm done with that.
Okay, yes, it happened, and now I'm done.
Right. So those were our thoughts on Dark Side of the Moon redo, the Dark Side of the Moon re-recording from Roger Waters. It does not in any way, shape, or form replace the original version. It doesn't erase your memories of the original Dark Side of the Moon. That's not how memories work. Again, if you'd like to look into more of my just being reasonable about the topic, we have a video here on the channel called You Should Calm Down about the Dark Side of the Moon redo. Lauren has her hand raised.
One question. Is it redo or redux?
I don't know. I always say redo, but everybody else online says redux.
And because I guess my question is then, you know, I'm also just like, I don't know. Maybe it's a potato type situation. Yeah. But in my mind, redux is like a reworking. Maybe that's what that word means. I don't know. That's what the comment section is for.
Redo means as well, yeah.
Redo is that doing it again, but like a reinterpretation. Yeah. You know, redo. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe semantics.
So leave us a comment and answer Lauren's question. If you would please drop a like on the video, even if you disagree with our opinions. We are more than happy to engage with you, and share this into a vinyl group or a Pink Floyd group, because if nothing else, you're going to get like a billion comments on it from your post. You're going to get a lot of action in the group, because whether or not people even watch our video, they're going to want to converse with you about this topic for sure. So if you would please drop a like on the video on your way out, that helps us out. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.